Check it out. It's the seventh wonder of the world, Taj Mahal, and this is the 7th Wonder Podcast. What's up, world? What's going on? It's Taj Mahal, the 7th wonder of the world. Thank you for tuning in to the 7th Wonder Podcast. I got some great news. I know it's been a while. I've been gone for a minute. Had to get my little situations together. But I got on a co-host. You might have heard her from my first podcast episode, but I think she's ready to go on all the way on the journey. Y'all give it up for Aisha Go. Aisha, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Aisha Go here, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Taj, for extending that invitation to me. And for that lovely intro.
Hey, well, no problem. Been a long time no speaking to. Let's get back to what we do best, man. What's going on in the culture? It's a whole lot of different stuff going on so far this month. But
never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. So we're just gonna jump straight into it, man. We're gonna go ahead and get right. Let's talk about Lil Nas X. This is big for
the Old Town Road.
Old Town Road, man. Shout out to Lil Nas X, man, doing this thing for what is it now? It's like 17 weeks straight, number one on the Billboard?
Yes, I believe 16th or 17th. He's broken the record. He's taken away from, I forget the name of the Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men song that previously held the record. But yeah, he's out here setting records, making history, and never a dull moment with him, right? Seems like we can't stop talking about him.
Yeah, well, as you all know, Lil Nas X just recently came out as gay. With his recent revealing, I mean, how do you feel as he goes forward with rap, and how do you think that's going to affect him in his dealings?
Well, first, I just want to say, I feel like I have to give a disclaimer because there might be some people that don't agree with me and don't like what I'm about to say. But when I first heard him come out, to me, I thought that he was trolling. There was like a small percentage of me. So like 80% of me was like, congratulations, that's great that he did that, owning who he is. But then there was that 20% that sat back and thought, is this another troll? Because he's known to troll. He's like one of the best trolls out there right now since, the guy with the rainbow hair that's currently allegedly snitching, that we're not going to bring up his name. Yeah. But I initially thought that he was trolling. And I was like, I don't know, because, he's made it seem like he was doing a song with Beyonce. That was a troll. He said he was an industry plant and that was a troll. So I just wasn't really sure where this was coming from and where it was going. But if it is in fact true, then I think it's dope that he's coming out. And I think that this is going to set a bar and kind of break those glass ceilings for members of the hip hop community that identify with the LGBTQ community.
That's what's up. That is for sure. I actually believe like he might be the first rapper in general to come fully out and say, I'm a gay rapper.
Well, I know like there have been others, but they've never had the amount of success that he's had. So, we've had people like Nicky Blanco, or we had Cakes the Killer, or even I Love McConan, who came out after having that big song
Tuesday.
So, but there's never been anyone that's been at this level that Lil Nas X is. And because he's at this level, and because I think that he has a whole system and team behind him, I think that him coming out as gay is not going to affect him charting. It's not going to affect the looks that he's getting. And just because, like, right now at this point, like, he's a pop star.
That's for sure.
So it's all his world right now.
That's 100% sure. Once you get that gay cosign, I forget who was talking. I think it was Joe Budden. But I mean, once you get that gay cosign, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Your stock increase tenfold.
Yeah, I mean, but what I am happy about though, that I haven't seen yet, but it might be coming. Since he's come out, I haven't seen brands working with him just to be like, oh, we're an ally. So I haven't seen people automatically have his picture on a face of some sort of liquor or vodka and be like, oh, we're gay friendly. Like, I haven't seen that yet. And I haven't seen him, I feel like go on Ellen. I feel like that too is kind of a
Yeah, he hasn't done Ellen yet? Like that's the prerequisite.
I don't think so. Well, he hasn't done it since news came out. And I feel like that's kind of like gay rites of passage.
I swear, right? Yeah, you going Ellen, man. I
Yeah,
told you that stock tenfold.
so yeah, us not seeing that, it makes me feel like, okay, like they're not parading him around, or they're not trying to use this as a gimmick, which makes me
Exactly.
feel a little better. Like, okay, Aisha, like maybe you're wrong, maybe he wasn't trolling, but again, I think it's dope. Glad that he came out, glad that he's living his truth. But at this point in his career, it's not gonna affect him because he's too big, he's too hot right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He just dropped the EP called 7,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very versatile as an artist. I mean, he has joints on there for some of everybody. And the big supporter I come to look at, or a big supporter I'm feeling like someone, let me get my words together. I feel like somebody that's really supporting him more than anything, Cardi B. Cardi B
Yes.
brings him out on tour. Cardi B's featured on songs with him. Every time they cut the Cardi B during the BET Awards, she turning up for the homie. He got a big
She
supporter.
brought him out during Summer Jam.
Brought him out during Summer Jam. So,
Yeah.
you know, with the connections that he has, with the talent that he has, I mean, him being gay doesn't really hold too much weight as it should. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't hold that much weight for him. The music should speak for itself. So congratulations to the little homie. Just a young dude out there getting to the bag. And hey, I'm cool with that.
Same here.
Now, what I'm not cool with, what we're going to transition into, shout out to my man, Pretty Flacco Jody. Man.
Long live ASAP.
Long live ASAP. Man, you know, him going through his situation, could be possibly facing 6 years in a prison out in Sweden. What's your take on that, man? I got to hear what you guys say about that.
I think the whole situation is crazy, especially when you have video and proof of him being antagonized, someone following him trying not to be the aggressor in the situation. Like, to sit there and hear that he's the one that's locked up, incarcerated in solitary confinement, laying on a yoga mat, not eating in these terrible conditions, it really just makes you question, like, what is going on with the system? I know we think about the system here in America and we know how that's broken and the things that we go through in America, but to hear that it's going on in other countries too, it just really opened your eyes and lets you know, like, yo, it's not only fucked up here, like, it's fucked up everywhere. It might be different degrees of fucked up in different levels, but it's fucked up everywhere. And it makes me think too, because I listened to the Brilliant Idiots podcast.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the guys that's like associated with them, I think he does like the video footage for them. Something similar happened to him too, where he got into a fight with someone. I'm not sure how the fight started. They didn't talk too much about it. But he got into a fight with someone out there in Sweden. The bouncers and stuff are actual officials. They're like cops and people of authority. And then he was locked up and they were trying to give him multiple years too. So it's just like, yo, what is going on in Sweden? Like, do we... And I love Swedish fish, but do I need to fuck with them? Like, I need to know.
Oh, and everything, man. Look, I don't know what's going on in the UK. We already know about the justice system here in America, especially for us, man. But if you even look at an incident like Freddie Gibbs, you know, when he had to spend his time behind bars, or we'll go back a couple years, you know, when Future and DJ Esco, was it Future? Or it was either Future or Esco. So they had to spend the 56 nights behind, you know, the walls out there in Dubai. You feel me? Now, with all that said, I'm not gonna flex. When a nigga spend time behind bars in the UK, them niggas come back to America with some of the fire that it's like the fire that was on the bush when Moses was looking at the burning bush. Because when Future came back to the States after them 56 nights, he dropped that mixtape.
That's how we got March Madness.
Freddie Gibbs, when he went to prison overseas and came back, he brought that fire with Madlib. It's only right that ASAP hopefully gets out of this situation and comes back with some great content, because I feel as though with ASAP, it's been an up and down battle. Even with this last CD testing, which was pretty decent. I love ASAP and he tests. I love that ASAP does different. He reaches out and does different things with his music. He's not like a one-track pony. So hopefully this situation turns around and brings some type of new flavor for him, you know, and I really look forward to getting that man up out of his situation. From what I just read, they're trying to extend him out to the 25th so they can officially charge him with a crime. Sweden officials say, but free Rocky, and it's just, man. Free Rocky.
like not only just getting great music like that, I think is going to come from this. Like, things that's going to be like very introspective. I'm hoping that we'll see a Rocky that's more mature and looking at things differently. But I'm hoping that he feels like that too, just in life in general, because of course the internet, especially Twitter will drag you, bring you down, bring you back to life just to kill you again. They brung up the interview that he did after
Yes.
Ferguson,
Yep.
in which he talked about like Black Lives Matter and feeling as though he doesn't have to be a black activist. He want to talk about his bad bitches and his Molly and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping during this experience with him being away and not only seeing how shit could be fucked up for you, especially if you black, no matter how much money you have in certain places, but also looking at it like, look at all the black people of the community, people of the culture that were supporting me, that were vouching for me, whether it's sharing that petition or sharing context of people who could get me out. I'm really hoping that it'll change his perspective and he comes back with a clearer mind and can articulate himself a little more. And y'all rappers need to stop incriminating yourself and making yourself look stupid in interviews, okay? It's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to be quiet. It's okay to, say, I'd rather not go into discussion about this. So please stop.
Yeah,
please.
Man. PR comes in mind when I think about situations like that. A lot of these guys don't really have a strong PR team, and a lot of them just want to speak from the heart. But sometimes just not speaking at all is the best policy, bro. Just take your time. You wouldn't go to the DA and tell what's on your mind. Kind of take that same idea and inside your interviews, don't really speak on certain issues that you're just not really sure of,
Man, everybody not meant to speak from the heart. Some of y'all need to stick to y'all cliff notes and bullet points that your publicist gives you. That's everything.
It. For sure.
You answer questions about your top 5. You continue to drop the date of when your project's coming out, and that's it. Keep it moving.
That's for sure. All right. So the Double XL freshman list is out. It's popping. You know what I'm saying? You got some of your favorite artists on there. What's your take on it?
So Double XL list is one of those things where every year we say it has less significance, but then every year we're still looking at who's on it, who made it, and it's just always a topic of discussion. But I think this year is pretty spot on when it comes to the climate of music and also to where the future of the culture is going. So I love the fact that the Baby is on it, that Meg Thee Stallion is on there.
Facts.
And even someone that like I've heard about, but like it really wasn't for me. But then I heard the freestyle that they dropped, and I was like, "Oh no, this is official." And that's Rico Nasty. She snapped on her Double XL
Rico,
freestyle.
Shout out to Rico Nasty. Yes, big facts.
I heard that, and I was like, "Okay, I'm definitely a fan of hers now." But Roddy Ricch on there, like you got a whole bunch of people. YBN Corday, how could I forget? Like, so I think that the class is really dope. Double XL, they tried it a little bit with putting Blueface on, and it's like, I get it. He got one of the biggest songs out. Don't know how long Blueface is gonna be around for. Sorry, gotta say it. I know y'all thinking it. I gotta say it. But I feel like in those lists is always that one person where you could tell, like, okay, they put this person on because of their popularity right now, but we don't know what their future holds.
That is for sure.
But again, I think for the most part, the list is good. The list is dope. You got versatility in there, and I like it. How about you?
Man, I love the list. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm really rocking with the list. What I love about the Double XL freshman list, though, it keep my perspective, my age, and it keeps me in perspective of like what's new out there in the world too. If you think about it, man, because like for the majority of the time, I know a lot of the cast that's on here, maybe with the exception of one, and that's YK Osiris. I'm not really too familiar with them, but every year it's like, man, I think I got my ear to the culture, but do I really have my hand on the pulse though? Because a lot of these newer rappers, like we think about last year's list and the artist who was on there, a lot of those guys, I couldn't really recall any of their music, not all of them at least. It also for me, it makes me feel as though like I'm stuck in the past. So when Double XL releases a new list of freshmen, even though everybody might not like everybody that's on the list, it does keep you on your feet if you're in tune with the culture. Like I can't just keep listening to Double XL freshman class 2006 with Gorilla Zoe, Lupe Fiasco. I need to catch up. I need to get on to what's new. I need to get on to what's hip. But a lot of times Double XL does miss the mark. But a lot of times these artists don't even want to be on the cover because they feel like they're too big for the cover. Biggest, the quickest example I could think of this would be Post Malone.
Okay.
But man, shout out to the Double XL artists, man. So far, all the freestyles that I've heard have been fire. I don't know. I love the Baby, man. Shout out to the Baby. I do not want to get put on site.
We on the same page because listen, I was very underwhelmed. And I expected more from the Baby. And then the fact that they had the Baby go first, For
Yes,
me,
bro.
like, the baby is one of the biggest, like, breakout artists this year. So the fact that he went first, it's like, all right, you got a lot of eyes on you, and you got to deliver. And that
Yeah, man.
freestyle did not deliver,
Yeah, it just
and it
didn't.
was recycled. We heard this on Funk Flex Freestyle like 2 months ago.
Oh
I don't
wow.
want to hear that. Yeah,
In the
I
words of
don't want to hear
Charlemagne the
that.
God, man. In the words of Charlemagne the God, that's not it. That's
Like,
just not it.
that's that I don't know. Especially Double XL, regardless of what people want to say about it, it's still a huge platform. You still have people looking.
Huge platform.
So you have to deliver. Like, it's certain places that you go when it comes to freestyle, you have to deliver. Double XL, Flex, LA Leakers, Sway of Five Fingers. Like, it's just certain places
Easy.
that you go to that you cannot recycle nothing. You got to bring your A game.
But he
And the
usually
baby did.
do. He
That's
usually
what I
do
don't
though. That's the crazy
understand.
part. You know, every like Flex, Sway. I don't know if he was on LA Leakers yet, but like he usually bring the heat. But this freestyle just wasn't it, man. But hey, I don't want to get beat out my draws. Shout out to the baby.
For
It's
real.
all love. You still a big homie. You still gonna do things. If anybody's gonna have a breakout, successful career, it's definitely the baby.
Bring the bars up. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, gotta.
When especially when it comes to this group, because you know they do the individual one. Once they do the group, like the cipher,
Okay, yeah, that's probably what he was saving it
gotta
for.
bring
That
it.
is true. That is true.
Gotta bring
These
it.
are facts. You know, I'm happy to see Roddy Rich on there, man. Roddy Rich, I guess you could put him on the freshman list, man. I felt like he should have probably been on there last year though. But with rap being on racks in the middle, I feel like that played a role with the homie getting a good look on here. With the untimely passing of Nipsey and him being on that track. And he just up and coming, so he buzzing. We all know Megan the Stallion. All y'all having a hot girl summer out there, you know.
Flaming girl summer, hot, scorching, sizzling, all of that.
I'm talking about it's like greasing the frying pan hot out here right now. You know what I'm saying? She's been phenomenal this year.
Yes.
You know, first heard her last year on that Tina Snow project, and you know what I'm saying, to see her come just boss up like that, that's easy. Gunna shouldn't be on this list. Gunna had his biggest run. Gunna, not as a freshman, he didn't. I don't think Gunna need this look, man. Gunna been running the show for a long time, man. With him a little bit, like I feel like Gunna should have been on here maybe last year or 2017.
But to me, this is kind of like the beauty of the Double XL list is the fact that they get it wrong sometimes. So I like when they can acknowledge that they get it wrong or that somebody should have been put on a couple years prior.
That's right.
And then they still put the person on because it shows like, look, we skipped on you before, but you've been so consistent and you delivered so much. We can't deny you right now. Like, if we didn't include you or if we didn't reach out to you, we would be crazy. And sometimes too, I think people getting snubbed, that helps you go harder. Like, my personal like mantra is the nose help fuel you. Like, you need the nose to help fuel you to go harder, to be angry, or to be like, yo, I gotta get revenge, or I gotta go, like, I gotta prove it to people. You need that sometimes. You need that extra push. And I think Double XL does that sometimes when they don't include certain people on the list. People that know, look, I should have been included. People go harder. And now look, Gunna is one of the biggest artists right now.
One of the biggest artists.
Part of QC. Like, who's to say if he got on that list prior, who's to say he would be the Gunna that he is today? Who's to say he would be signed to QC? He could have been signed to someplace else where they milking him out of his money and he in bad deals and contracts. Like, you just never know. And I'm big on timing, and I think this was the time for Gunna to be included.
That is for sure, man. That is for sure, man. It's just so dope, you know, being from Atlanta, you know, man, Atlanta artists just seem to always hit the mark. And when you get management like Coach K and QC behind you, and them boys over there on that side don't never do wrong. So shout out to the whole QC label. Shout out to Gunna. Man, just shout out to everybody on the freshman list, though, man. Everybody's doing their thing. We're winding down on time. Let's go ahead and knock out one last topic, man.
Let's do it.
Some of these forever. I guess.
Where you want to go with it? Where you want to take it?
I don't know, man.
I know
so much I want to talk about, man. I want to talk. All right, fuck it. We'll close this on a good note. We'll save that one for later because I'm pretty sure Lil Uzi's Eternal Take isn't coming out anytime soon. So we'll talk about that on the next podcast, you know. But let's talk about the top album so far for the year. We're at the halfway mark, pretty much a little over the halfway mark. Man, it's been some phenomenal joints that's coming out, man. It's been so beautiful to me, man. I feel like this has been a very solid year so far, and I'm still looking forward to see what's going to be coming in the next 5 months. I'm going to go ahead and start with mine, man. So
go ahead.
I'm going to just keep it short and simple. I'm going to pick my top 3 albums so far of the year for me. So Tyler, the Creator's Igor, Solange's When I Get Home, Anderson .Paak with Ventura.
Okay. All right. So we got some similarities. So mine, I was gonna say Anderson .Paak's Ventura,
Easy.
Ari Lennox, Shea Butter Baby.
Oh, I'm sleeping. I haven't heard it yet. I'm
What? Oh my
sleep.
God. New apartment, broke. Oh man, just so much. And then this one, people might not think that it's an album, but to me it's an album.
What's this?
So I'm gonna say it's an album. The Beyonce Homecoming live album.
Son.
Amazing.
How?
Amazing.
How?
It's a live album. It's an album.
Bro, it's like...
Listen, if it could be on the charts and if she making money off of it and it's on all the digital streaming platforms, damn it, it's an album.
My niggas say Beyonce fucking
Yes.
Homecoming Netflix original presents.
Yeah.
No way, bro.
First of all, think about the execution. Think about the amount of planning that it takes to not only put together a show that's live in front of people during Coachella, but to make sure it's so perfect and succinct that it is also turned into a documentary and film on Netflix. And then you're also able to get the audio and turn it into an album? Like, she thought about this thing from 3 different angles, 3 different perspectives, and executed all of it perfectly. It's an album.
Big facts. I like the way you put that right there, Shawty. That's for sure. But you're not finna sit here and tell me it's that difficult to record a live track. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like it. Now, I'm not gonna lie. How they mastered it and edited it, when you riding your whip, like you might be with your lady, she put that Beyonce Homecoming on. She put the Beyonce Homecoming on. It's a different vibe. You feel me? And it's cut and edited and mastered in a very perfect way. You sound like you right there. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was
That's what I'm saying.
At FAMU.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that she was able to execute it perfectly on stage, and I watched the live stream when it actually happened last year, and then a year later to be able to listen to it as an album and it's still perfect. Her breath control, just the production, the ad libs, the everything about it. I'm just like, yo, this is like spot on to a T, perfection. Like, perfection from beginning to end, and how it's just so seamless and perfection. Yeah, and then she threw on the Before I Let Go too. What?
That's the new.
Come on, man.
That's the new That's the new summer anthem.
Yeah, you gotta play the original, and then you gotta get into the Beyonce one. Like,
exactly, big.
Come on, she changed cookouts forever.
Forever.
Gotta be in the top. Gotta be in the top.
Got to. It's like that. Beyonce's Before I Let Go is so. There's in my history, there are gonna be certain songs you're gonna always play at the cookout. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Of course, you're gonna play the original Frankie Beverly and Maze. You know what I'm saying? If you part of this new generation, if you was born in the 90s, maybe graduated sometime between 2008, 2009, 2010, and beyond, you're going to play Swag Surfing.
Yeah.
100%. And then you're going to play this new Beyonce. So they might be onto something with that, but it's a whole list of albums that came out this year that's been fire. I wouldn't have expected the live production of Homecoming to be
this is my little hot take. So there have been albums that came out this year that have been fire. However, I don't know if it's because like my musical ear is changing and what I look for and what I like quality wise, but I just feel like I haven't been in love with anything. Like, it hasn't been like last year when I hear an album and I'm like, oh, Victory Lap makes me feel something different. This is a top album. Or J-Rock's Redemption, this is something different. This makes me feel like I haven't gotten any of that out of the hip hop albums that's been released this year. Now, don't get me wrong, it's albums out there that are great. Again, you got Igor, even Dreamville's Return to Dreams 3, amazing.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Amazing projects that's been out, but nothing has really resonated with me to make me feel like once I heard it, well, I'm like, first listen, hands down, this is amazing.
That's real. I don't know, man. Maybe because I'm a Tyler stan, but I feel like Tyler definitely set the tone. And you know what's crazy? The albums that I felt like are great albums aren't necessarily rap albums. They're like albums that have a little bit of rap on it, and they just go kind of left, and they just get their own style to it, or they're just like R&B albums. Like Solange album is hella slappable. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna play When I Get Home for the rest of the year. Like, she got the slappers on that one. Lizzo had a good album too.
Yes, definitely. And I fuck with Lizzo. And again, I'm not saying that people have put out bad albums. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying right now, currently, I'm not like in love with that many albums. Like how I was last year and previous years.
That's real. That is 100% for sure. I know when 2 Chainz first dropped Rap or Go to the League, I played that for like a week and a half straight, but then I just went to the wayside.
And even that was a great album.
Yeah, that was a real good one. Oh, how can I forget? Stupid me. Honorable mention for me would be Future.
Really?
The Wizard. I don't know if it's that country shit in me or that country boy that being from the A and you know what I'm saying, I'm always gonna rock with Future no matter hit or miss, you know what I'm saying? That's the big homie. But when he dropped The Wizard has been one of the top rap albums of the year so far to me.
I don't know. I might come in next week and feel differently. I don't know. I don't know. But again, there have been great albums. I'm just not like in love. I'm not committed. I'm not ready to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like we still talking, we still dating.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out, can I take you to the fancy places or can I just take you to the chicken spot? I'm just still figuring it out. But by next week, again, I might be committed. Who knows?
So you having a city girls, hot girl summer relationship with the music right now.
Ah, man. Something like that. Yeah, basically.
Oh, it's too lit. All right. But guys, man, thank you for tuning in to the podcast. We really appreciate everything. Aisha, let them know where to follow you at.
Hey, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at it's ITSA, Aisha, AYESHAGO. And yeah, follow me there. I don't be on like that, but I'm trying to get better. So, don't judge me, people. I'm working on it.
That's for sure. And you guys, I just built a new Instagram. So you guys can find me at 7, the number 7, EVENTH_wonder. Add me on there. Tell us what you think about the podcast. Put your comments in on the Apple Podcast reviews, Google Music reviews, Spotify reviews. We really appreciate that. We look forward to bringing you all more content. And thank you for listening to the 7th Wonder Podcast.
Peace.